Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, your girl, the one and only Tiffany E, aka Smackdown TV2, and I am here to give you guys all of the tea when it comes to wrestling and maybe a little bit of odds and ends in between there. So why don't you go ahead, go get your snacks, go get your juice, go get you a good drink, a good glass of wine if you can drink it. If you're underage, don't be drinking, okay? Go on and get you some juice or something and sit back and listen as we kiki and holler about wrestling. Because over here, you get a plethora of things when it comes to my show, okay? You get wrestling commentary.
No benefit of the doubt. Dr. Phil say don't do that. Dr. Phil say when somebody show you who they are, and so did Maya Angelou, believe them. Them two hoes are snakes. They've been snakes, and them hoes was like that when you got there, and they like that now, so fuck them both.
And they did the right thing by letting them headline WrestleMania. They most definitely deserve to headline WrestleMania. And that is how you close a mania. What else we get? You'll also get a weekly recap of every single show that WWE has to offer. Monday Night Raw after show, NXT after show, and of course a Friday Night Smackdown after show. You'll also get a recap of all the Big 5 PLEs. I even do the Saudi shows for you. And then, if it's good and worth the time, I may even throw a little AEW in there. But of course, I will do my best to make sure I recap as many PLEs as possible. If I don't have it, then I'll throw it to one of my friends who do know it. We also cover pop culture, and we have really good time over here with lifestyle and just giving advice. So, if you're ready, it's showtime. And that is on the ancestors, baby. See, I'm gonna put my hands up and play my song. Yeah. Party in the USA. Anyways, well, SmackDown was wow. Trip pulled out all the stops when it comes to SmackDown. Okay, he was not playing with us today. So Kratos, I got to give it to you, Playboy. You swerved me very, very good. Okay, because I assure you, what you pulled out your ass today was not something that I was readily expecting. I was sitting at home like, what is I'm so lost. Now they didn't do it my way, but I still feel like eventually they're gonna come down my street. But let me get to top comment of the day. Okay, let me get to it, get it out the way. All right. Top commenter of the day goes to Tirza. Tirza was in here bright and early. Okay, she was ready. All right, shout out to Tirza. Of course, Nika was number 2. Donnie was number 3. Hello, Donnie. Then Eli was number 4. And of course, Kayla gonna get in there. She was number 5. What's wrong? You finna go?
Yeah, we have to get the goodness.
I see you tomorrow. We go to the restaurant, okay?
Where we going?
We going out to eat.
For breakfast?
No. Dinner. Bye. Love you.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to everybody who came in. Hello, Rikarsha. How are you? Hello, Tay. Hello. Kenny Ken is here. She said, if you're not a hoe, get up out my trap house, bitch. I'm not a hoe. Yes, girlfriends. Yes. I can't. We love Bobby Schmurda. Not Bobby Schmurda. He said, I'm blue. I got to get up at like 6:30. Well, go to bed. I'm going to make this real quick, and then I'm going to do SBC chat because I did not get to do that this week, and I was tired. I didn't feel like doing that, but I will tell y'all what. Y'all truly are missing out because I did do a live show with the girls of Down for the Count. So if you missed that, don't worry, it's up on my page. You can always go back. Right, it's our 300th episode, ladies and gentlemen. We have been doing our podcast for 4 years, and this was our 300th episode that we did live. So shout out to Nicole and Alexis. Unfortunately, it wasn't one of Janae's days off, so she missed the episode, but we love her just the same. And she came in later on in the years of us doing the show, but she's been an added value to the show always. And we love Janae and we appreciate her. And I can't wait till she start coming back. With all that being said, also for the KTT podcast, my personal podcast, I had a banger of a time with Kenny, Don, and Rico. We did Music Weekly this week, talked about some of the topics that was happening over there, and we did a versus battle that was so much fun. It was so much fun. I can't wait till we do it again. So it's going to be a fun time. All right. But anyways, that's enough podcast talk. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying my channel and the shows. And make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe because it's important. Okay. With all that being said, y'all, let's get into this show of Friday Night Smackdown. They did not come to play today for Friday. They kicked off the show with Johnny Boy. We had a lot going on with Johnny Boy. She said, well, get the stepping. See, you disrespectful. You don't tell me where to go in my house. This is my house. My house. Thank you, Karsha. I appreciate that. She said, but when you step with some razzle dazzle. Now y'all can leave. Because I am not a whore. I am not a whore. Anyways, let's get into this show. Now, why is this damn Apple so sensitive with the screen of retracting my comment, child? So, John Cena kicked off SmackDown today. He basically came out there and was welcoming everybody to the season premiere of Monday Night Raw. And as he was continuing his welcoming of everybody, your tribal chief made his triumphant return after being gone for almost 2 months. Okay. Roman Reigns reared his head back into the house that he built, a la AJ Styles, and he came back on some somber shit. I expected Roman to be very, very angry, given the fact that for the last couple of months, a lot has changed since he's been gone. It's been Jey Uso's running around. He's the biggest thing in WWE next to himself and Cody Rhodes. His younger cousin Jimmy is pretty much acting like he's the tribal chief. They've been losing. They've been calling moves without him, calling shots without him. Paul Heyman's been getting enticed and enthralled with Judgment Day, making moves without him. Everything is moving and shaking without Roman's approval, and I expected him to be extremely irate about that, but he was eerily calm, which usually is never a good thing. But he came out to basically tell John Cena that they calling you the greatest of all time when I'm the GOAT. And you just here on a humbug. We all know you finna bounce real soon. I don't even know why you here. Like, get the hell out of my ring. John Cena stepped his hands back and said, baby, listen. I'm not here to cause no trouble with you. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm not here to start nothing. You feel me? He said, the only thing I'm here to do is to acknowledge you. Roman said, really? Is that why you here? Is that why you here, to acknowledge me? To show me that you care? Show me that you love me? No, that can't be it. That can't be it. It can't be. It just can't be. But apparently that was true. John Cena made it very clear that he recognized Roman Reigns' reign as champion for 1,100 plus days. And he said that's an amazing feat and deserving of the moniker of the greatest of all time. He said, though, he has no intentions of challenging the tribal chief because he hasn't earned the right to challenge the tribal chief. But he said that he knows a man that has earned the right to challenge the tribal chief. Cue the music because that's when L.A. Knight came out. And L.A. Knight made it very clear. He said, listen, I don't care who you are or what you call yourself or what you think you about to be. He said, you are nobody but a man that's in my way. You have something that I want, and I'm going to get it. Baby, Roman's like, who the fuck is this? Who are you? I don't even know you, love. But that's the price you pay when you take a vacation for over a month and a half, almost 2 months. You lose focus, losing track of things, like your strength over SmackDown as a whole, which I'll be getting to that in a minute. But they gave us a peculiar shot of Roman standing in LA Knight's mirror reflective glasses. It was giving very much Matrix. You take the blue pill, you go back to your life and live your merry old days, and you believe whatever you want to believe. But you take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you just how deep the rabbit hole goes. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw this damn shot. Okay? But LA Knight staked his claim, and then all of a sudden, Jimmy Uso came in there and called an audible. Took out, was it Monday? Did I say Monday Night Raw? Child, y'all know what I'm talking about. Jesus. He staked his claim and was basically trying to take out LA Knight, and ended up getting himself taken out by LA Knight. So the segment ended, and at first it looked like Roman was about to go at LA. But that's when Paul Heyman pulled him back. Pauline was looking real golden brown today. Okay? He made sure that he had his Krylin foundation on real thick today. Okay? So that segment ended, and it went to the back. Now, the next segment we got a little taste of Carlito. I'll skip around and say we got a little taste of Carlito, because there was a match between the Brawling Brutes and Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly made their return because I believe it was Elton that got injured. I can never remember which one is which. Elton, or I don't know, I'm gonna call him Elton because that's what my mind is telling me. Elton got injured and had an shoulder injury that it was Elton. Mm-hmm. He was out for quite some time. So it was because of a match that they had with the Brawling Brutes that he got injured. So now they're using this as a part of their story and a part of their character trope. And they're making his new moniker is Elton Strong, and he keeps yelling it, and he's having these triumphant moments of getting out of his wheelchair, and hopefully that doesn't become a regular thing, because that was hella funny. I'm not gonna lie. But for him to do it every time he come out there, it would lose its shine and glory. Anyways, they had their match, and for the most part, it looked like the Brawling Brutes was able to get the win, but Elton and Kit were able to sneak and steal a win over the Brawling Brutes, which I kind of figured would happen, being as how Pretty Deadly's first time on television in months on SmackDown. I kind of figured that they would give that to Pretty Deadly. So Pretty Deadly did beat the Brawling Brutes on SmackDown. But let's get into some other fun stuff, okay? Carlito made his triumphant return to SmackDown, okay? And everybody was looking at it, talking about it, talking shit like, oh, that's cute. We love that. We love that for you. And of course, people was asking questions. You know, they wanted to know, like, Carlito, how do you feel about being back on SmackDown? And here come bald-headed Bobby talking shit and being upset. He was basically mad, obviously, that he ended up losing to LWO at Fastlane. So now that Carlito's there, he's like, oh, I remember the last time I saw you, I was beating your ass in the middle of the ring, But that's water under the bridge, like, it is what it is. I'm glad you're here. I was like, well, last time I remember seeing you, your ear was normal. I'm pretty sure that's how, remember the last time that, Carlito saw you, your ears was normal then. But whatever the fuck ever. You know, Bobby didn't really say nothing to Carlito. He didn't really, make Carlito feel bad or nothing, but it was the way that they went about this particular scene that just kind of made me laugh a little bit. However, they had him. Hold on. Because I'm on Twitter trying to find this picture, and this shit is funny as hell. Anyways, so where was I? What was I talking about? You remember, Jared?
Shit.
What was I talking about? I lost my train of thought. It's gone. My train of thought is gone. It's gone. It left me. it's, it's gone in the wind. Just stomp the yard on his ace. I can't. What was he talking about? Oh, okay. So after the win with Elton and Kit, they went to backstage, and Roman was in the back, and Roman, he feels some type of way about LA Knight making his presence known on his show. I was talking about Carlito and Bobby, but I'm gonna skip to Roman because that's where my thought process went. I'll get back to Carlito in a minute. Roman basically was just like, what was you doing, Jimmy? And Jimmy was like, listen, I called an audible. I felt like when the game plan that you came up with, when it wasn't working no more, we got to pivot. I called an audible. He was like, oh, you call the audibles now. So who's the quarterback, me or you? He was like, well, you the quarterback, babe. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to be your right hand man. He was like, nah, I call the audibles. I call the plays. I'm the tribal chief. You feel me? He was like, we got problems right now. Jey Uso's back on Smackdown. Not only that, but he's got the tag team titles with Cody Rhodes. You don't feel some type of way about that? He said that's a disgrace to our family, our bloodline. That's messing with our shit. He said Jay being out on Raw don't bother me, but him having them tag team titles is a direct line of disrespect to me and our family, our children. He always bring that shit in, and I don't like that. Leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. Them kids don't know nothing about that. Them kids don't know nothing about that. Okay? So he was like, we got to do something about that. And Jimmy just sitting there. He was like, okay. He was like, okay, well, I guess I'll do what you want me to, whatever. They move on after they had a little powwow. And Roman reestablishes his dominance over Jimmy and Solo. And of course, Pauline, because he be acting like he's scared every time the man talk. Like I said, Carlito was in the back having a conversation because he is now a part of WWE again. And of course, Bobby came back there and was talking cash shit. And as Carlito told Bobby, he said, you know what? Since you got such an issue, it could be me and your bald-headed ass next week on SmackDown. How about that? Bobby was like, you know what? That, and as soon as he got ready to answer, that's when the Street Profits brought their punk asses in there and attacked Carlito. Now, they beat up Carlito. I don't know where LWO was or where they could have been, but not now one of them motherfuckers was there while Carlito was getting his ass whooped, which really irked my soul, okay? Because it took Adam and, what's his name? What the hell is his name? Jason. He had a fresh S curl too, baby. That S curl was hitting. I was like, where you going? Rico Suave. Fresh S curl, honey. They came in there and broke it up. By then, the Street Profits had beat the shit out of Carlito while Bobby Lashley was throwing apples on him and shit, talking about here's your shit. You know, I'm like, nigga, you come here, go to hell. Shit, go to hell, Bobby. By the time it came back from commercial break, all of LWO was out there, including Santos, Rey Mysterio, and Zelina Vega. That's when Bailey's no lip having ass walked up and was hollering and screaming about EO being celebrated because she's the champ. And Zelina like, bitch, we dealing with some important shit. Go take that bullshit somewhere else. She was like, you need to get out our business. And she was like, bitch, first of all, you need to talk this. Don't disrespect me, okay? Respect your elders, bitch. You see me towering over you, ho. I know you ain't here over here talking shit like you finna do something. What the fuck is your ass finna do, Mighty Mouse? Zelina was like, bitch, I will slap you. She had that chocolate in her hand like, girl, I will beat your ass. You don't know me like that. Don't you disrespect me. Adam said, look, I don't have time for this shit. You two hoes want to fight? Fine. You can fight in the next match. It's you and her. Now, Bailey, get your thick ass out of here. Bailey walked away. Zelina threw the damn shoe at her. I was like, okay, Tony Storm, watch for the shoe. Yeah. Now, they had a match. It was a pretty decent match, too. And Zelina Vega seemed to be holding her own against Bailey. They did pretty well, but what?
Do she say it like that every time?
Yes, she does say watch for the shoe. Why are you laughing?
Because I just thought about how you said it.
That's how she says it. Oh my God. Now you done stopped my mom on him. I was okay. I was on the roll. Jared, I hadn't fucked up no words. Oh, now you leaving. You done fucked me up and you just gonna leave.
I'll be back.
You better be lucky I like that. Jesus. Anyways, stupid ass. Brandy getting ready for Mania. She better be. If Ava becomes aligned, I hope not. I hope not. Hello, Aaliyah. Skittles have sour gummies. That might not be too bad. I love me some good Skittles now. Well, I don't like Skittles hard candy, but I do like sour gummies, so that might be kind of good. He said, and they slap. Okay.
The sours ain't kind of different, don't it?
Right. Say it like sunflower seeds. Okay, now where was I at? Y'all making me think I got ADHD.
Zelina Bailey.
Thank you. Okay. The match was going pretty good between Zelina and Bailey. And in fact, Zelina had majority of that match. She was in control. But of course, the numbers game of Damage Control played a major part in why Zelina Vega could not pick up the win over Bailey. But if you ask me, Zelina Vega should have won. Bailey don't need no win. And quite frankly, LWO ain't getting the wins unless Rey Mysterio is doing it. And I just find it to be weird that the LWO is a faction, but they don't have no momentum. They don't have no strength. They don't have no fight. And I don't like that. As a faction, you should be able to operate under the guise of at least having some strength, some point of contention where people either fear you or they respect you. And neither of those things are true for LWO right now in terms of kayfabe storyline. They are always used as a trope against somebody else, and it doesn't work out in their favor ever. And I don't like that. But I digress. So, after the major interference of Dakota and Io, Bailey was able to pick up the win with the Rose Plant over Zelina Vega. Now, what happened after that? Oh, top of the hour. This guy comes out. And this is where things get very, very interesting. You see, Triple H decided to give Adam Pearce his flowers. My mother and father in there watching something where somebody gets shot. I'm assuming that is Bosch. because
the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, she's been watching it for a while. I'm assuming that it's botched because every time I turn around, somebody getting killed. So everybody is looking, and we're listening to Uncle Trip give us the deets. He said it's the good time of the year. We're starting fresh and we're getting into the stride of Crown Jewel. And then very soon after that, we've got Survivor Series. And after he said that, I was like, something is off because Adam was out there. And I just thought that it was weird that Adam Pearce was out there. Usually when Uncle Trip is making announcements, Adam don't come out there because there's no need for Adam to come out there. But he was out there. And the conversation that was had on this particular time, at this particular time during the show, was he was giving Adam Pearce his props. He said that Adam Pearce had a thankless job. He was running both SmackDown and Raw simultaneously as a WWE official, and that was hard enough on Adam. He gave Adam his props for being a former wrestler himself, which he was. If I recall, Adam was a 5-time NWA champion, which that is amazing because NWA used to be an amazing promotion and it has a great legacy. And for him to be champion 5 times, whether it's chosen or not, is still an amazing feat. So Adam, even though he is an official, he still has his ear close to the streets, seeing as how he used to be a superstar or a wrestler, just like the guys and girls who are wrestling right now. He gave Adam his props, shook his hand, and said, we love you, we respect you, and because of the hard work you've done, you're getting a promotion. And Adam said, me? Promoted? Wowzers. Where's the promotion? The promotion for Adam Pearce is that now he's officially and exclusively the Raw GM. And the SmackDown GM is somebody some of you may be familiar with, and some of you might not be familiar with. You see this guy in the blue window pane suit. His name is Nick Aldis. And Nick Aldis is a pretty stacked wrestler of his own. He is a multi-time champion across multiple companies. And he has been in WWE before in earlier years. But of course, he was a part of cuts that happened and he hasn't returned since. But now Nick Aldis is here. And the question is, why? Nick Aldis is your new SmackDown general manager. And that is why this big announcement was had, because now there are 2 GMs, one for Raw and one for SmackDown. And tell me, class, does anyone have any idea what this means? I'll wait. Somebody tell me what it means. Somebody tell me what it means. Hold. You are correct, Tirza, but that's not what I mean when I say tell me what it means. I'll give you a hint. A small hint. There's 2 general managers. There's 3 shows. Technically, there's 3 shows, but we'll leave it at there's 2 shows. So does anybody know what that means? Or what it could potentially mean? Somebody tell me what it means. Come on. You know the words. Just a few little words. Come on. Battle of the Brands. Very good, class. Very good. Now, if you think the way I think, the way my mind has been computing, yes, very good. Very, very good. Now, the way that my mind computes, there was no reason to remove Adam as the official of both shows. He was doing a great job. Now, one would have to ask, why did they decide to make this particular move. And as the kids of the class have already suggested, a brand versus brand is where we're going back to. Now, they've already kind of started that with the champions being exclusive to their brands. Okay, Tirza, they've already done that. They've made it very clear that main champions or the champions of each show are going to stay on their shows. They will not travel to other shows, right? With the exception of NXT, with like Seth defending his title in NXT. Okay? Now, to pivot from SmackDown just a little bit, you have to ask yourself, now, why would they do that? What was the point? Like, they already did, the brand recombining, and then they split the brands again. They've done all this. Why are they doing this? I'm going to tell you why. Number one, SmackDown and Raw are ran better when they are separate brands and separate shows. You can say that that's not true all you want to, but it is true. When you can focus on the brand itself and just worry about the brand and not worry about the roster as a whole, you've got a smaller market and a smaller opportunity to make things work on your show. You don't have to worry about the storylines having continuity running consecutively on Raw and SmackDown. You only have to worry about your show. Okay? Now, here's the second reason why this works. Tell me why Survivor Series last year with War Games didn't work. Anybody have an answer? Come on, class. You guys are smart. You're smart. Tell me why it didn't work last year. A lot of you were bored with Survivor Series last year. It was Bloodline versus the enemies. And while we love that, it didn't necessarily play out the way we needed it to for War Games, right? Right? Ha! Ha 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 ha. Very good. Very good. Head of the class. Because it was story-based. Now, we've seen War Games work before on a storyline basis, okay? It's not that it can't work. It's that it just didn't have no incentive of working, especially when you're overbooking the bloodline and they already have the win. Right now, you still have the bloodline going, and you need that ideal or that commonality of brand supremacy to really make War Games be what it is, which is fucking War Games. Okay? This will work. This is going to be bananas. Now, if they throw a monkey wrench in there and make NXT a third brand, and you've got NXT as well in this, that's a whole mixed bag. That means you're going to have 3 teams in War Games. They're going to be smaller teams, but you're going to have a lot to work with. And that brand supremacy is going to have a bigger fight and bigger stakes. So that makes it a little bit more fun. You have the opportunity to make this work. War Games is easier with brand versus brand rather than trying to build stories out of it, because the story should already be built before you get into the chamber. All they did with War Games last year was take the enemies of the bloodline and put them on one side and had the bloodline going on the next. We already had an inkling that bloodline was going to win that, and it didn't work because it just there wasn't enough of a battle to happen, and Bloodline had been winning everything at that point. It didn't work. Did it work having Bloodline versus their enemies? Yes, essentially it did. But it wasn't something that people were invested in. The other War Games matches prior to when NXT switched over, everybody can go back and watch those now and really enjoy them, especially the lead up to those War Games matches. Those storylines were built brick by brick. You could see it as it played out. And then War Games was announced and they were able to hash out their differences inside that cell. That wasn't the case when it came to the War Games match from last year. Roman and the guys pretty much were just sauntered into this match. And Roman, when he got in, he rarely did any work. A lot of the work that was done in that match was done by Kevin, Sammy, and the Usos themselves. Even Solo didn't work as hard as everybody else. And then you had everybody else on the other side of the squad that were trying to make it work. And it would have been a little bit different had they had actually won in the Inside War Games, but that's not what happened. So the storyline based war games is fine, but it has to work so that it's not so heavily favored in one person's favor. The reason why war games in NXT worked out so well is because even though Undisputed Era was always in war games, they were not always guaranteed to win it. This having the brand supremacy for war games, and I'm not saying that it's necessarily what's going to happen, but I do think that it's possible. Okay, I do think that that is coming. I do think that they're going to distinctly separate the brands again, and they do it every couple of years. Okay, so yeah, it's happening. It's gonna happen. So do you think they'll split the tag titles in Saudi? I do think they'll split the tag titles. I don't know if they're going to do it in Saudi, but I do think they're going to split the tag titles. I think that Jay and Cody are going to retain against the Judgment Day on Monday, because to me, this foreshadowing that they did at the end of the show doesn't make any sense at the end of Cody and Jay's match, which I'll get to in a second, doesn't make any sense if they don't let them retain. They need to, because they have to have something. Cody and Jay Uso need to be booked for that Saudi show, and I believe that they will. I believe they'll be defending those titles. Judgment Day is going to slowly start to lose their power, and the only one in their squad that's going to have a championship is going to be Rhea Ripley, unless Damian Priest cashes in his briefcase somewhere, or cashes it in probably at the Saudi show and becomes champ, probably on Drew, which somebody told me that would happen, and I'm like, that's fucked up on so many levels. But it's very possible that they could split the titles in Saudi. I thought that was going to be the announcement, that they were going to give them new belts for those tag titles or do something. I would hope they would. They deserve new belts for those tag titles. Those tag titles suck. They suck donkey ass. I hate those tag titles. But we got an idea of who is going to be the new general manager of SmackDown. And it's going to be Nick Aldis. Now, also what we got an idea of, which Kratos swerved the hell out of us, okay, is who was traded from Monday Night Raw to SmackDown. And Nick Aldis was the one who told us it was fucking KO. Kevin Owens is back on the SmackDown brand. And I'm just like, what? What do you mean? Sirs, ma'ams, what? You can't do it. I'm like, what are you doing? What's happening? I was so shocked. I was so floored. I stand by Cody being able to go up against Roman at WrestleMania, and I don't give a damn who says that it's not happening. It is happening. It is going to happen. It may not happen now. It may happen later, but it's gonna happen. Okay? Sammy must stay on Raw. I don't think Sammy's going anywhere. I don't think he's going anywhere. But I think that hug on Monday Night Raw after Jey Uso beat them was his last match on Monday Night Raw for Kevin. And that split that tag team of Kevin and Sammy. But this is going to give Sammy an opportunity to rise in the ranks, whether it be mid-card or go up against Seth freaking Rollins for that championship. That gives Seth another strong contender for that title if Drew McIntyre doesn't acquire it, or if Damian Priest doesn't acquire it. It makes things a little bit more fun. That main event situation expands a bit. Also, Sammy could be a very high competitor for that Intercontinental Championship. You got a lot of wiggle room here for Sami Zayn to move into, and they got momentum to build with him and make it work. Quite frankly, I would make Sami Intercontinental Champion again, and have him be champion for a little while. Let him drop it, and then whoever is champion, Sami starts a feud with them, and he moves up the ranks. I would do it. Sami's been Intercontinental Champion before. He definitely could be a great Intercontinental Champion again. If they don't give it to him, I think Xavier Woods would be a great IC champion. So would Chad Gable. A lot of people don't give Xavier his just due, but I think Xavier would be a great Intercontinental Champion, be it heel or face. I think he would be amazing. He's the only person inside the New Day who hasn't had a singles title. Nope. The only one he's had, or the only thing you can count remotely, is his King of the Ring, but he hasn't really had an opportunity to shine on his own. You know what I'm saying? So give him an opportunity too. You got a lot of wiggle room here. A lot. Seth versus Roman is going to hit at Survivor Series. That's not bad, actually, Eli. I wouldn't mind that at all. He would have to be drafted back to SmackDown by then, which is very possible. Him and his wife. I would have them anchoring SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with that. Ooh, I like that. He technically can say he beat the Tribal Chief and the Bloodline Dashians. He definitely can. Sami definitely can say that. That's what the vigilante on TikTok and Instagram calls them. He calls them the Bloodline Dashians. That's some shit I never would have came up with. That's fucked up. He also called LA Knight being the next person to square off against Roman. I ain't think about it either. What's going on the after show right now? Well, hello, Travis. How are you? We're talking about SmackDown and all of the things that was happening. So if you didn't watch SmackDown, I'll give you a little quick refresher. Okay? Cena kicked off the show. Roman came out there, interrupted. They had a little thing. LA Knight came out. LA Knight, got rid of Jimmy. They pretty much backed off, left LA Knight alone. They moved into a match. Pretty Deadly returned. They got a win over the Brawling Brutes. They moved into some backstage segments with Carlito and the Street Profits and Bobby. Bobby and the Street Profits beat up Carlito. LWO came out there to protect their mans. That's when Zelina and Bayley's match got booked. Bayley got a win over Zelina with the help of the Damage Control crew. And then, of course, they attempted to beat up Zelina afterwards, and that's when Charlotte came tipping down there. Then we also, at the top of the hour, got a match. Well, got an understanding of what's going to be happening on SmackDown from now on. SmackDown has a general manager. The general manager is none other than Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis is the GM of SmackDown, and Adam Pearce has been promoted to the general manager of Monday Night Raw. So Nick Aldis announced the acquisition from Monday Night Raw in per the trade of Jey Uso, and that acquisition was Kevin Owens. So officially, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's tag team is null and void, and KO is back on the blue brand. All right? Now, that you're caught up. Let us move into the rest of the show, shall we? I scramped at alum. I can't. And my man, thank you to my man. They trapped Adam with Chelsea. Well, technically, Chelsea is going to be moving from with all three brands, if we're being fair, because the women's tag team championships are one belt, and those belts travel through the brands. That she doesn't just have to be on one show. Sir, let us move on because Nick Aldis' first act as the general manager was very interesting, darling. You see, he called Charlotte Flair into his office as Chelsea tried to, goad him into telling her what he's going to do with their cussed tag team titles in a nice little callback to Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, which we didn't see them today, but I'm pretty sure they're going to pop up at some point. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, Charlotte Flair was called into Nick Aldis's new, freshly minted office, and he said, "Listen, I saw that match at Fastlane, and I saw that Asuka tapped and had the damage controls, Bayley, not interfered. You would be WWE Women's Champion right now. So, with all that being said, let's not, play any games. Next week, it's going to be you versus Io one-on-one, mano a mano for the WWE Women's Championship." And Charlotte said, "Thank you. I appreciate you writing that wrong. We love that." And of course, Nick said, "You're welcome." Okay. And then, we got a little showdown. You saw these girls is looking each other face to face. Now you know both of these girls got on heels. Okay, so it's the battle of the big bitches. It's just the battle of the big bitches. Now Jade got her by a little bit. Jade was very cordial. She came in there and Triple H stood next to her and said, Hey, Charlotte. Hey, girl. Listen, I just want to introduce you. This is Jade." She said, "Oh, I know who she is. This is Jade Cargill. I know her." And Jade kind of looked her up and down like, "Oh, word?" She was like, It was given very much regular show, Jared. It was given. Hold on, y'all. Hold tight. Hold on. Hold on.
Still don't know my words. Still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental. Got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't deserve.
Now, child. She said, he said, I know who this is. This is Jade. She said, "It's nice to meet you." And Jade looked her up and down. She said, "It's my pleasure." She said, "Oh, it will be." I said, "Oh, I need to see the bitches on the mic. I need to see the bitches on the mic." I need to see it. Now, if you notice, everywhere Jade goes, she's styling and profiling. Got her one-piece bodysuits, killing the game, abs all extra. She at this point, she the female Finn Balor. There are some things about her that is just unattainable. Okay, that lady is just outside of this world, bonkers beautiful. There is nothing about Jade that's a flaw. Nothing. And if any of you hoes in the comments say it or in the playback say it, you're lying and you're jealous. You're lying and you're jealous. You're lying and you're jealous. Okay? That girl is flawless. Okay. Not really. If it's brand versus brand, then Seth is Raw champ and Roman is SD champ, which I hope it is, and send Warzone back to NXT. First off, War Games is what it's called, and I don't think War Games is going back. Secondly, I don't think Seth freaking Rollins will be champion by next year. If he is, he's going to drop that title sooner rather than later. Thirdly, if it is champion versus champion, if Seth is the world heavyweight champion, which he is, and Roman will still be the WWE champion, then that will happen in War Games and not at Survivor Series. I mean, not at SummerSlam. I don't think they should have them wrestle each other at Survivor Series in terms of individuals. That's going to make it a lot. I would prefer they keep War Games as a brand versus brand thing. If you want to put them inside the cage, fine. Let them be in the cage. But to pit them against each other just individually in a match, I don't like it. I don't like it mainly because we're not going to get what we need, and Roman's probably going to win. I'm just going to be honest. They're probably going to give that W to Roman, and I'm not here for that. I do want to see a match. If Roman keeps that championship, we can see it maybe, but I don't want to see Roman versus Seth, champion versus champion, because I just feel like they're going to give the win to Roman. I thought you was talking about like SummerSlam next year. Hunter said, so we're bringing in Nick Aldis to be a new GM. And Adam was like, oh, so I can get Smackdown to get away from Chelsea. And Hunter was like, oh, you ain't read the email, did you? Well, Chelsea is the champion, Rico. I don't understand the logic of this because Chelsea is the champ. She's a champion that travels between both brands.
All three.
So no matter where he goes, she's going to show up. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I understand the joke. I'm just saying logic would tell Adam that because she's a champion, she's going to show up at every show.
Right.
I could understand it better if she wasn't champ. Then I would be like, you know what? True.
At this point, now she's just showing up just to fuck with it.
Right. Now we got a big bush bust down. Where's Donna when you need her, Rico? I can't. I would like to say I was right about War Games. I believe I called this Survivor Series War Games. You're welcome. And I take Cash App. Wow. Okay. All right. If that makes you happy, sure. Guys. I mean Big Bish, not Big Bush, but that works. Hey, I read it like it was put in there. So, the last match of the night was LA Knight versus Solo. Roman had ordered Solo to take out LA Knight because he ain't like the way he came at him. He ain't like the fact that he was talking to him and being so disrespectful, honey. He was like, I'm the fucking champion. This motherfucker came out of nowhere. I don't even know this nigga. So he not finna disrespect me. That's not about to happen. But before we get to that, let's get to the tag team match. So there was a tag team match between Theory and Grayson Waller, which, bitch, I don't understand. Theory and Waller was going up against the tag team champions, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. And, you know, Roman was not happy that Cody and Jey Uso was on his show. You see, he felt like since he beat Cody, he should be gone. And since Jey Uso already had went up against him and lost per Jimmy, you know, he was like, I ran them out of here. You know what I'm saying? There was no reason for them to be on my show. And baby, they had a match with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Austin Theory and Grayson accepted the open challenge that was issued on Twitter. And of course, they was on there acting up, talking about they was the only undefeated tag team in WWE. And I was like, okay. And then it was like, oh, they acting like they a real tag team. Well, Austin, this is why people think you're stupid. It was staying the reason that the fact that people think they're a real tag team and they themselves think they're a real tag team will have a lot to do with the goddamn titles being around their waist. You stupid bitch. Goodness. Oh. Make you just head hurt, child. Why are you up here, Jim? Anyways.
Got something to drink?
Go in there.
Gotta get some water, buddy.
Don't run with the boot on. Anyways, they had the match. Jay and Cody ended up picking up the win. As the match was over and it was heading out, Roman's music hit and Jimmy and Solo came out there. And there was a showdown between those four. Now, we all know that Uncle Trip is very big on foreshadowing. We saw the showdown between these four, but what was really telling was the camera shot that happened afterwards. Okay? As the camera began to pan out, Solo backed up and Jimmy was in Jay's face, and these two were staring each other down. That stare down happened for a majority of the night. They stayed like that until Nick came out, and of course, until um the rest of Nick Aldis's producer team in the back split them up along with the refs. This is a very big foretelling situation here. You've got the tribal chief who clearly is being contested now for his crown and throne. And you've got Cody who has been itching at the opportunity to take that from him. Not only that, but in the back, if you notice, you've got two brothers back there who have been feuding and still have not have resolved their animosity with each other. With all that being said, I still stand by what I said. Cody Rhodes and Roman will meet again. If it ain't at WrestleMania, it's gonna happen sometime soon. And of course, Jey Uso and Jimmy are gonna end up meeting again at some point too. You're gonna have these fights happen. I don't know when and I don't know how, but they're gonna happen. To end the show, Solo had a match with LA Knight. The match was going great. Solo was about to lose against LA Knight, and that's when Jimmy got involved. Jimmy ended up taking an AA from John Cena. John Cena suffered a Samoan spike, and that's when Solo got blunt force trauma for his troubles. LA Knight picked up the pin, but Roman Reigns hit LA Knight with a heavy spear out of nowhere. And Roman ended the show with his title held tall. Now, if you know how WWE is with their foreshadowing, you can pretty much tell where the booking is going. Okay? LA Knight is more than likely going to be the next man to challenge Roman Reigns for his WWE Championship, and that match is probably going to happen at the next PLE, which is in Saudi. There's already a PLE booked for Saudi, okay? That PLE, that match, EOS, let me see if I can find it. Because I saved it, but I don't see it. Do 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 do. Because I like this render that they have for this Saudi show. It's pretty freaking cool. Anyways, let us pull it up. The only match that is currently booked for the Saudi show is Drew McIntyre versus Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. And this render is so fire. I love it so much.
Seth, no, he's stupid.
I was anxious for LA Knight to get off the turnbuckle because I could feel Roman coming. Yeah, once he stepped off, baby, that was bada bing, bada boom for him, okay? With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is your SmackDown. Hopefully, we'll see the booking for LA Knight and Roman Reigns. And we got a couple other matches to book for that show. And y'all should definitely expect for Logan Paul to make his triumphant return for Crown Jewel as well. And this more than likely will lead to part 2 with Logan Paul going up against Ricochet once again, because Ricochet is owed a lick. All right. I let Seth start to fall off the bloodline. Interesting. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining. If you do not want to hear about the SBC chat, you don't have to. I fully understand. For now, Jared, let me put my purse over there. Fully understand if you don't want to hear about the SVC chat, because it's not everybody's cup of tea. So I'm going to give you guys time to go and chill. And I will see you guys Monday after Monday Night Raw. I give you 30 seconds to go ahead and head on out if this is not something you want to hear. The SVC chat is not wrestling related. Let me repeat myself. It is not wrestling related. And since I didn't do it Thursday on Freestyle Wednesday like I normally do, I'm going to do it here on Friday. And I will cover Impact next week. Impact wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. This week, it was okay. It had some swerves and shit, but it was cute. It wasn't the greatest, but it was cute. All righty then. It's at midnight. Something evil lurking in the dark. You try to scream, but terror takes the sound before you make it. I love that song. I'm sorry. All right, y'all, let's get into the SBC chat. Hello, Cedric. How are you? All right, let's get into it. Let us do it. If you know, you know. Over here, usually the SVC chat is on Wednesdays, but I didn't go live Wednesday. I had work to do. Okay. So we're going to do it today. Now, I'm giving y'all an opportunity to go ahead and bounce if this isn't for you. If you don't want to hear about it, totally understand that, because it's not wrestling related. So it's totally up to you. If you want to stay and listen, that's on you. But we're going to be talking about some mess. These are posts that are sent into the Six Brown Chicks, which is the SVC chat. They send in questions of what they need answers to or advice for, and we're going to read them and then try to answer them, child. Ooh, it's a whole mess and a whole key. All right, but we're going to get into it. So y'all can see I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking, Cedric. All right, so here we go. Question number 1. He left his baby mama for me 3 years ago. She studied biology at Chicago State University. That's an interesting thing to put in the beginning of this. He comes home to me every night. We're together, and he's done with her. We hate her. He dates me publicly in real life and on our socials. Wow, I didn't know that we had to, establish in real life. Didn't know that. Somehow, this bitch had a baby and is pregnant again while he is with me. The babies are his. He swears she must be reusing old frozen sperm from his old condoms because he hasn't been intimate with her. I text her about that and she replied, "Not frozen. He delivers it fresh." Laughing my ass off. I know he's been home with me. Also, he begged me to abort our child last year, so I know he's not willingly making babies with her again. What to do? Also, can I legally stop her from making more of his babies? First of all, I can see you did not pay attention to in biology, so let me give you a little bit of a lesson, baby. First of all, he cannot take frozen sperm and make children with them. If you've ever seen any type of show, semen that is frozen, especially if it is not properly done, it's not gonna do anything. It's like having dead cells. Um this is mortifying, okay? First of all, he's having sex with his baby's mama and you are still his side chick. Whether he's dating you publicly or not, he still is having sex with the mother of his children and willingly making children with her. The reason why he doesn't want you to have kids is because he don't want to be responsible for kids outside of one household. Which, if I'm being fair, and I'm not trying to say he right about the way he going about it, I can understand him not wanting to have kids outside of the one girl he got the kids with. You want all your kids to be born from the same woman. Okay, great. So, and secondly, legally, no, you have no agency over her and her body or his. There is nothing you can do about him making children with this girl. Your ass is either going to have to get in line as one of the bottom bitches or act like you got some sense and leave this man alone. Okay? Furthermore, you're very big on proving that you are somehow his number one girl. And I believe deep down, you know full well that that is not true. You claim that he's with you all the time, but that cannot be the case if this girl is pregnant. So if I was you, I would reevaluate my life right now and understand that beating a woman to the punch or taking a man from a woman is not a feat. It's not something that should be celebrated or acted as if you did something great. This isn't a competition. You should be more concerned with the fact that you are willing to be this man's doormat and sleeping with him and getting pregnant by him. And he doesn't want anything to do with you or the children that you have, but he's willing to continue making children with the woman he claims he doesn't want to be with and he doesn't love. You're being lied to, you're being played, and you are a willing participant in that. Maybe you should be more concerned about what you're doing in your own life rather than worrying about what type of semen this bitch is taking from a man he claims he doesn't want to be with her. She's not freezing semen. I guarantee you he's going over there dropping it off fresh, like she said. Question number 2. I reconnected with my college fling, Peaches, a motivational speaker. Peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. Oh, peaches, peaches. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Yo, man, listen. I reconnected with my college fling, Peaches, a motivational speaker. We picked up where we left off: drinks, sharing dreams, and having relations everywhere. I'm sorry, I have a 13-year-old that keeps listening to everything I say, so I have to be very careful with what I say. Y'all can read it on the screen. I'm going to read it in as much PG as possible. She was getting clingy, so I told her that I'm in a serious relationship now, being honest. It's cool. I'm going to stay positive, she said. Sadly, before she ghosted me, I texted her for days until she told me not to call her again until I was single. Okay? I waited a few weeks and I told her I was single. I wasn't. I'd visit her at odd times when my girlfriend was working at the salon, and she took me on a day trip to North Carolina to hang with her family. Her grandmother asked, "Are you a positive person too?" Me. Always have been. Grandmother. Peaches was devastated. She thought nobody would love her again. But here you are. I told her that HIV don't stop no show. Oh. Peaches mentioned she was positive several times, but I also saw that ass and I misunderstood. My girlfriend doesn't know why I'm pulling away. I'm too afraid and stressed to get tested. Advice. Sir, you need to go get tested. You also need to explain to your girlfriend that you've been cheating on her and you possibly could have contracted HIV. This is serious. Usually I might joke and jest and tell you that, hey, live your life, did something, but now you have you have possibly given your girlfriend something that she cannot take away, and you have done yourself a disservice by not understanding what you were getting into, or at least taking the prep or step. I'm not sure what the lingo is, but I know that they have pills that can help you lessen the chances of you getting the virus if you are careful and you are more alert about it and you're serious about it. You cheating on your girlfriend and having sex with a woman who you knew was HIV positive is seriously dangerous because you did not inform your girlfriend of your sexual partner that was infected, and now you could have possibly infected her unbeknownst to her. That is not fair. They said, God bless you, AJ. I really, really hope and need you to go and get yourself tested and allow your girlfriend the opportunity to protect herself and get herself tested. Maybe God is shining down on her and maybe she hasn't gotten it, but you definitely need to go get tested. And for her sake, you need to tell her the fucking truth. That's just wrong. My wife got a new Miami ass 2 years ago, and she looked amazing. And of course, she got pregnant. She's 7 months pregnant. She still wants sex. But that big belly and that big ass is terrible together. She puts on black lingerie and gave me a lap dance, and it looked like two pigs struggling in a garbage bag. Oh my God. I couldn't get aroused. My baby kicking, her ass getting lopsided and spreading. Sex ain't happening. She thinks I'm cheating, but I'm just grossed out by her. How do I stop her from groping me, begging me from sex? Because when I can't perform, she calls me limpy. Pregnancy is beautiful, but it ain't sexy. Advice, nigga, you got her pregnant. Nigga, you got her pregnant. And you didn't have a problem with the BBL that she went and got. You should have known the consequences. Women's bodies are just going to change having babies. And I'd call your ass limpy too if you sitting up here treating me like that. And it's the audacity for me. Because I'm sure you sitting up here looking bald-headed, got shit balls in your ass, barely wash your feet, don't brush your teeth, shitty draws, and she love your shitty draws down, but you can't stand the sight of her. Okay, I tell you what. Since you so worried about what she looked like and you don't love her despite the fact that she's carrying a child that you put in her, how about you just tell the woman the truth? So she can go ahead, give birth to her child, and leave your ass alone. Because that's wrong. And it's so disrespectful to her. Now, when she go and have that mommy tuck and get herself together, don't bring your shaggily stinking ass back around here. Keep your ass where you at. All right. We moving right along. Question number 4. I used to have sons. Pharaoh and 11. Pharaoh's 11. Taha is 9. Taha? 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 Pharaoh and Taha. Jesus be offense. Pharaoh 11 and Taha is 9 by 2 different women. Pharaoh's mom, the sexy fat one, oh my God, worked minimum wage jobs, didn't finish high school. He said worked minimum wage jobs plus didn't finish high school equaled a life destined for poverty. So I abandoned them. Taha's mom, the kind, responsible one, is a dental assistant and lived more comfortably. So I stayed with her. Pharaoh's mom begged me to visit and see him, send money. Finally, I just blocked her number. She never pursued me for child support, I guess, because she loved me. A month ago, Taha's mom revealed he's not my son. She had the DNA results and had to do the right thing. And the birth father was out of prison and wants to be a part of their lives now. So I had to move out. I'm shook. I've reached out for Pharaoh's mom to make up for lost time with my son, and she reads the messages but never respond. I called at 3 a.m. and her ninja told me don't contact her. I'm taking care of things. Women will play these games and wonder why we snap. I can't let this man take my firstborn son. I have parental rights. Advice. Oh, baby. You just want a place to lay your head, you lazy bum. Nigga, it's the fact that you sitting up here talking about women play these games and wonder why we snap. You blocked this girl because you said she was fat, worked minimum wage jobs, and didn't finish high school, and that was equal to a life of destiny, destined for poverty. And what the fuck do you do? I am imagining that you don't do nothing but play Xbox or PlayStation next. One of these women bought you and live in a house and you ain't got no job. And it's the mere fact that you was willing to abandon this boy who is 11 years old and you know that that's your son. She's calling you and begging you to help her take care of him, and you blocked her because you ain't want to have nothing to do with her. But then the bitch you laid up with, she done went and had a baby, and you thought that was yours, and it wasn't even your fucking son. Now you want to talk about you gonna snap? Because women play games. Nah, you play games and you play stupid games and you won stupid prizes, bitch. I hope the damn bench you laying on is cold. I hope it snows when you out there. I hope it rains monsoon level. You feel me? I hope you drown in your own sorrows and filth. Cause what the fuck? It's the audacity of you. And you sitting up here, you saying that this woman ain't nothing but she poverty stricken. She destined to be on food stamps and living her life in these minimum wage jobs. She ain't gonna be shit. But here you are, ain't got a job or a pot to piss in, bouncing from woman to woman because you don't have nowhere to stay. It's the audacity of you. The ability of you to not look into a mirror, bitch. Child, that's insane to me. You have got to be outside of your mind. Go to hell. That's your advice. Go to hell. Quickly, swiftly, go to hell. Question number 5. Time moves fast and it hasn't been good to me. I met my wife in the gym in 2018. We worked out together. By 2020, everything was locked down and I couldn't exercise no more. I discovered how much I love peach cobbler and I started cooking and eating them nightly with homemade caramel crunch ice cream. I sold pies to my female neighbors. My female friends love my peach cobbler, and that opened doors for other things. I gained 70 plus pounds, and my ankles swell when I'm sitting, so I have to elevate my legs hourly, and I can't work. My wife is back in the gym, and she's trying to leave me for a fit guy, especially since she knows about my pie thoughts. What to do, bitch? You look like you better hop your python ass back in that gym if you want to get.
Right, to get your wife back.
Why are you out here thotting around with pies? You getting hoes for pies? Who is giving up coochie for peach cobbler and homemade caramel crunch ice cream? Y'all are desperate, okay? Homemade caramel crunch ice cream and peach cobbler. I don't have nothing to say to that. Girl, that's a mess. Question number 6. Got fired for fighting my coworker at the job. His wallet went missing and he blamed me. I ran into some money, so I scooped my friend Kenny and we spent a few bills at the strip club. Then we went to my home, opened the door, and caught my girlfriend passionately strap fucking some random female. House music blasting, lube and sweat everywhere. Wigs on the sticky floor, cocaine residue on her face, guts and butt slapping. She was high and out of her mind. Me, what the fuck are you doing? Her, what the fuck are you doing here? She kept going. I've known this woman for 2 years. Her only explanation is, I pay rent. What I do while you're at work ain't your concern. Kenny told everybody that my girl wears the peen in our relationship and I'm salt. I'm emotionally damaged. Also, I can't sleep in the same bed with her after seeing her strokes. Help, you better ask your bitch how she get out like that so she can teach you some moves, nigga. Because it sounded to me like you ain't up to par, bro. Like you don't have the goods. Like you're lacking in the man's department, honey. If this is what takes away your masculinity and manhood, you never had it in the first place. I don't know what to tell you other than while your friend Kenny is laughing, he probably need to be worried about his girl getting digged down by yours. Because that's more than likely happening. I guarantee you that. Because, baby, that's a mess. Anywhoosies. Y'all, that was the SVC chat, and it was messy. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but it was messy. With all that being said, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Please make sure that you follow the channel. I go live 3 times a week, usually Monday, Tuesday, well, 4 times, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sometimes Saturday if it's a PLE. Y'all make sure you tune in because Crown Jewel is coming on November 4th. Royal Rumble is coming in January and everything else in between, honey. We got Elimination Chamber and we have WrestleMania in April. But sooner rather than later, you're going to get Crown Jewel, Survivor Series, and then the final pay-per-view, final pay-per-view of the year. It's going to be Deadline from NXT on December 9th, okay? Now, the only match that is currently booked for Crown Jewel right now is Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. But we all know that LA Knight is more than likely the next suitor or challenger for Roman Reigns' championship, and he will be defending his title at the Saudi show of Crown Jewel in Riyadh. All right. So I will see you guys on Monday after Monday Night Raw. Hopefully things will go back to normal, but Monday Night Raw is having its Monday night season premiere. So who knows what's going to happen on Monday Night Raw, and probably NXT will have its season premiere next week as well. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good night.